actually learn how to.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first bout of the evening is scheduled for three-minute rounds in the Caged Aggression Amateur Middleweight Division, powered by the Cigar Social. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He stands an even 6 feet tall and weighed in at 185 pounds. He trains at Marty's Martial Arts. Joining us from Moline, Illinois, John Kerr. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands an even 6 feet tall and weighed in at 184 pounds. He trains at Summit Training Center and is sponsored by Lenny's Plumbing and Drain Cleaning and the Lucky Workshop. Joining us from Milan, Illinois, Chad Kirkhove.
It's Kerr versus Kirkhove, and don't forget to vote for your favorite fighters over at CagedAggression.tv. Kerr coming in right now at the slight favorite, 57% in change to Chad's 42% change. And they kick it off. A couple of leg kicks in there. John Kerr pushing the action. Driving forward with some body shots. Kirkhove throwing those knees, got him in the plum clinch.
Better keep his posture. End up chewing on some kneecaps.
Oh, gets under that leg right there. Looking to take it to the ground. John Kerr doing a decent job of defending this. Oh, and gets taken for a ride.
Nice.
Big takedown into side control right now.
Beautiful crotch lift.
And see, oh, big hammer fist. Still trying to maintain that position of side control.
Quite a feeling out process.
He's being sarcastic, folks. This one took off right, ooh, out of the gates. A little bit of an up kick. Kind of into half guard. Kerr firing from the bottom.
Kirkhove has some pretty vicious ground and pound.
Certainly seems that way a little bit over 1 minute into the fight. Goes over to the side again. Oh, looking for full mount.
Right
Did that
mount.
effortlessly. Talk about that, how easily he just took that mount.
Kerr not paying attention to what he needed to do to block that. I mean, he stepped over like he was getting on a horse. That's not supposed to happen that way.
And with 90 seconds to go, this position could be the beginning of the end, dragging him over to the cage, looking for some of that ground and pound. Miletich, you were known for a little bit of ground and pound via MFS, weren't you?
Well, I'd say
Oh, he gets up.
Kerr is a strong guy, like I said. He's being out-wrestled, out-grappled right now. But it's very exhausting to be on the bottom in that mount position, especially when you're getting punched.
And he's on the back, another big shot from behind. Looking for those hammer fists, looking under the neck. Kerr fights his way back up to the back of the cage.
Another lift.
And Kirkhove goes to try to take him for a ride. Doesn't quite get there.
Kerr trying to dig in that. Now he's pushing the head away.
Good knee to the body.
Yeah.
Another knee that was blocked.
Got to control underhooks.
Kirkhove pushing him up against the cage. We've got
Locking the
front
hands
seat
again.
action.
Gonna hit that crotch lift.
Both hands locked underneath the crotch right now.
Easier to defend that if you get wrist control and slide his hands down towards your knee so he can't lift your whole body.
Only about 10 seconds left in the round, and both fighters have expounded a lot of energy. It's going to be interesting how they come out in the second round, as it's obvious that Kerr, seems a little heavier. Doesn't seem like he's being taken down as easily by Kirkhove. Let's see where the second round leads.
Weathered the storm. Obviously, Kerr lost the first round, but he's not breathing hard at all.
I don't know if the same could be said for Kirkhove. He's huffing and puffing in that corner.
He had to work hard at those takedown attempts and that takedown that he did get.
And our lovely ring card girls making their debut, giving the spin and the sunshine to CagedAggression.tv viewers out there.
A little bit of Kirkhove's attack on the ground here. Doing a good job of getting better position. Kerr giving that mount up pretty easy, and then the hammer fist dropping on him. Very effective hammer fist out of Kirkhove in that first round.
Absolutely agree. Kerr taking those shots pretty tough. And here we go, about ready for round 2 to kick off. If I'm Kerr's corner, I'm telling him to try to keep the distance, get some of those shots off, try not to get in that clinch, and obviously avoid that takedown.
Come on, set it up.
Left hand catches Kirkhove.
A lunging jab lands right on the chin. Kirkhove stumbles.
Not quite a Superman punch, like you said. Lunging jab.
Oh,
And there's that takedown again. He gets under that leg, and it's almost automatic, Mr. Miletich.
Kerr landed so hard, I don't know if he kneed himself in the face.
He is being elevated. Kerr's still the favorite, according to the polls, at 56.67%. But I'd say that Chad is in control of this fight. Not quite inside control right here.
Kirkhove showing he's got some power too.
Grinding his face into his cheek. That can't be comfortable. Into full mount. That's definitely something Kerr is going to have to work on after this fight, is stopping that automatic mount.
Yes. Stop the takedowns too.
Back into half guard. Another hammer fist coming down. Ooh, that left looked like it hurt. Again, Kerr very, very tough. He's looking to step over again, get out of that half guard position.
Kerr definitely needs to work on positioning and the understanding of the mechanics.
He's pulled it almost all the way through. Basically in full mount once again. For a second there, it looked like he might be looking for a choke, but it looks like he's really just trying to position to get on top and rain down strikes. I'd say that's something that maybe Kirkhove should be working on in the gym, is getting into that side control and going for that head and arm choke. It's been there a couple times.
Sure.
And you look at this position again, it's looking like it could be that head and arm choke, but at the same time, he's on the wrong side. He doesn't have it locked in.
Well, there's nothing wrong with staying in half guard and abusing people too, or cross sides, instead of going to the mount, because you know it isn't many times can be a very unstable platform underneath you. So when you're cross sides, you can deliver some pretty good punishing shots.
And Kerr's in the position where he's close enough to the cage that if he rides this the right way, he might be able to edge himself up, but we really haven't seen much of that in the second round. It appears he's going to end this round on his back. About 25 seconds to go in the second round, almost full mount again. And there are those hammer fists.
He tried to get the arm triangle there.
He's looking at it, but these guys are young. Again, this is Kirkhove's debut, folks. And 2 rounds in the books, 2 rounds for Chad Kirkhove.
Out wrestling him.
And if I'm John Kerr's corner, man, I'm saying, look, you need the finish. You're down 2 rounds. You need the KO. You need the submission.
Stay off the cage. Don't get pressed up against the cage, because that's when he's losing takedowns.
And maybe not come in with that lunging punch. Try to be a little bit more measured. Get a couple connections in there. He was throwing some uppercuts in the first round, some knees in the first round. You know, stay out of that direct vicinity and the ability to be taken down by Kirkhove.
Lateral. Move lateral.
You know, you were talking about this right before the fight, but you were saying how a lot of people in the wrestling background really do need to hone their boxing skills if they want to get into the mixed martial arts cage and have a go at it.
That's the biggest problem in MMA, in my mind, is the lack of understanding of footwork and defense, and being able to tie your foot speed and proper footwork and angles with your hands in terms of timing. So
both fighters looking a little weathered, breathing a little heavy right here. Kerr's corner calling for that 1-2 strike. We'll see what happens. And here we go, round 3. Good call for the big knee to the body right there. Another big knee to the body. Looking at that plum clinch again. Those last 3 have been blocked. That one's a little bit weak. Kerr trying to battle away from the cage, but really setting himself up for another takedown. Kirkhove underneath the crotch.
Yep, gonna hit the crotch left.
And once again, just effortlessly gets that mount. Goes into side control. Now here's where I'd like to see him go for a finish. I'd like to see him take that right knee, and instead of sprawling out, because he's obviously got control, maybe drive some knees into the side, open up some strikes.
Sure.
And there's that, going for that full mount again. Okay. Kerr with a little defense right there.
Come on, let's go, Chad.
Gonna slide the knee across the waist.
There you go.
More hammer fists. Kerr tries to escape.
2 minutes.
So Kerr needs to get an underhook with his left arm and be able to scoot his hips out, be able to come up. So there's the fundamentals that I'm talking about, that you can't get an underhook, you're going to have an awful tough time getting up unless you give your back up, which you do not want to do generally.
And as this is going on, Kirkhove with some shots to the body. Kirkhove just not giving Kerr much room to work here. Trying to slide out, but just doesn't seem to have it in him. Chad continually on top in all 3 rounds. Almost manages into full mount again. Still in half mount. More hammer fists. Kerr tries to strike from the bottom, but it's very rare that you can get the kind of power from the bottom that you need to harm the other fighter and even get into a better position.
I've only seen a couple times where somebody from the bottom threw a punch and actually knocked the top guy out.
Man,
Jermaine Andre, many years ago, heavy shots there. Jermaine Andre from the bottom, the guy got mount on him, and the guy sat up, and Jermaine threw a right hand into his solar plexus and ended him.
Well, again, Kevin Holland, you know,
Yeah.
that's another one of those shocking moments where the guy from the bottom actually was able to strike and knock somebody down, but those are few and far between. Very, very rare moments. And I'm seeing it again. There was that head and arm choke. A more experienced fighter locks that in. John Kerr, not Steve Kerr, the NBA legend. John Kerr taking these shots and fighting hard to survive, and it looks like he's going to make it out of the 3rd round for a decision. Two men enter cage, 2 men leave, but this one's a pretty easy one to call. Chad Kirkhove in his debut looks like he gets all 3 rounds. We really just got to wait to make it official.
Kerr's a little dazed. He was staggering there.
I mean, how many hammer fists did he take?
A lot.
Quite a few. He took some body shots on top of there. He was on the bottom for most of the fight. He's breathing heavy. You know, people lift some weights. They do a little cardio. They get some disco muscles. They think they're tough enough to step in there. Let me assure them, they are not.
Well, and I mean, Kerr showed that he is very tough, obviously. He just needs to learn some fundamentals. Super important, obviously. Better footwork striking, fundamentals in positioning on the ground, so he's not giving up bad positions like he is.
Absolutely. And just to be able to do 9 minutes in the caged aggression cage is something to be said. I wouldn't last 30 seconds in there.
Well,
You better believe it.
I've seen the weights that Kerr lifts, you know, that are farm strength level stuff. So he's got the power, you know, just like I said, put the fundamentals with it. Pretty scary guy once he does that.
First fight of the night in the books.
Kirkhove, though, real good wrestling and very good ground and pound.
Pretty impressive beard as well.
But for first time in the ring, in the cage, his hammer fists are obviously very effective.
And so is his wrestling. You know, his takedowns were very, very good. Getting into full mount, very, very impressive.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to our judges' scorecard for our decision. Our judges scored this contest 30-27, 30-27, and 30-26, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Chad Kirkhove. All right, Chad, first of all, congratulations on the win. Coming out, first fight of the night, always got to set the tempo, man. Tell us, what was the game plan coming into the fight tonight?
Win at all costs. I want to take the Lucky Workshop and Lunny D's Plumbing.
Was there ever a moment during the fight where you felt like things might not have been going how you expected?
No, I trained with John before. I knew I could take it to the ground anytime I wanted to. And I trained really good Muay Thai with my coach, Jack LaGrange, so I'm good anywhere.
Well, look, before I let you get back to the locker room, was there anything else that you wanted to mention or anything that we left out?
Yeah, I want to call out George Canales. He's been gone a little bit, but I want to call him out for 170. I got him ass whooping to get him back.
All right, well, you heard it here first. We got a call out tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it one more time for your winner, Chad Kirkhove.